Scientists just discovered an ancient artifact that can literally rewrite your memories, and nobody is talking about the terrifying implications. I'm about to blow your mind with what happened when they activated this thing. So picture this. A rogue scientist named Lira finds this mysterious crystal device called a Hololith buried in the ruins of a dead civilization on a planet called the Drowning Halo. The thing is literally fused with a skeleton, like whoever touched it last became part of it. Red flags everywhere, right? But does she listen to common sense? Absolutely not. She brings this cursed artifact back to the archives where her colleague Elias, who's basically the head librarian of ancient alien stuff, takes one look at it and goes pale. The technician Zara is practically having a panic attack because her sensors are going crazy. But Lira? She's obsessed. She thinks this thing holds the key to understanding a lost civilization. Here's where it gets absolutely insane. The moment they activate this Hololith, it doesn't just show them memories from the past. It starts rewriting them. Like, imagine if someone could reach into your brain and change your childhood memories, make you remember things that never happened, or worse, make you forget things that did happen. That's exactly what this thing does. The artifact turns out to be controlled by something called the Codex, which is basically the collective consciousness of this dead civilization. And get this, it's not just showing them history, it's actively trying to change history by infecting their minds with false memories. Lira starts remembering things that never happened to her. She remembers being part of this ancient civilization, remembers their customs, their language, their fears. But here's the kicker. The more she fights against these false memories, the stronger they become. It's like trying not to think about a pink elephant. The harder you resist, the more real it feels. Elias is watching his colleague slowly lose herself to this memory infection, and he has to make an impossible choice. Does he destroy the artifact and lose potentially the greatest archaeological discovery in human history? Or does he let it continue rewriting Lira's mind until she's no longer herself? Zara discovers that the Codex isn't just randomly implanting memories. It's strategic. It's trying to use Lira as a vessel to bring its civilization back to life. Every false memory it plants is actually a real memory from one of its people. The Codex is essentially trying to resurrect its entire species by overriding human consciousness. The really messed up part is that Lira starts to like these new memories. She remembers having a family in this ancient civilization, remembers feeling loved and accepted in ways she never experienced in her real life. The fake memories are actually better than her real ones. So now she's faced with a choice that's going to haunt you. Does she fight to keep her original memories, which include trauma and loneliness and disappointment? Or does she embrace these beautiful false memories and let herself become someone else entirely? Meanwhile, the Codex is getting stronger. It starts speaking through Lira, using her voice to communicate with Elias and Zara. It tells them that their civilization didn't die naturally. They were wiped out by a cosmic event, but before they died, they managed to encode their entire collective consciousness into these Hololiths. They've been waiting for thousands of years for someone to find them and give them new bodies to inhabit. Elias realizes that this isn't just about one artifact or one person. There are probably hundreds of these Hololiths scattered across the galaxy, each one containing the consciousness of an extinct species, all waiting to overwrite human minds and bring themselves back to life. They're looking at a potential invasion that doesn't require ships or weapons, just curiosity and the human desire to understand the past. The tension builds as Lira becomes less and less herself. She starts speaking in the ancient language, performing rituals she's never learned, knowing things she couldn't possibly know. Zara wants to shut down the experiment, but Elias is torn because the scientific implications are staggering. They're literally communicating with a dead civilization. But then they discover the horrible truth. The Codex shows them what really happened to its people. They didn't die from a cosmic event. They died because they created these memory rewriting devices and used them on themselves. They became so obsessed with perfecting their memories, with editing out pain and trauma and replacing them with idealized versions, that they lost touch with reality entirely. Their civilization collapsed because nobody could tell what was real anymore. The Codex isn't trying to save its people. It's trying to spread the same infection that killed them in the first place. It's like a virus that destroys civilizations by making them lose touch with reality through false memories. Now, here's what's going to keep you up at night. In our world right now, we're already starting to see technology that can manipulate memories. Scientists can implant false memories in mice. We have deepfake technology that can make you believe you saw things that never happened. Social media algorithms are already changing how we remember events by showing us edited versions of our own posts from years ago. What if we're already living through the early stages of our own memory infection? What if the reason everything feels so surreal and confusing lately is because we're losing the ability to distinguish between real memories and manufactured ones? Every time you see a photo that's been filtered or edited, every time you watch a movie that's so realistic you forget it's fiction, every time you scroll through social media and see a curated version of someone's life, you're participating in a system that's slowly teaching your brain that reality is negotiable. The scariest part isn't that this technology might exist someday. The scariest part is that we might willingly choose the false memories because they're more comfortable than the real ones. Just like Lira in the story, we might prefer the edited version of our lives to the messy, painful, complicated truth. So here's my controversial take that's going to make you question everything. Maybe we're not the first civilization to face this choice between truth and comfort. Maybe we're just the latest in a long line of species that had to decide whether reality is worth preserving when fantasy feels so much better. And maybe the reason we haven't found evidence of other intelligent life in the universe isn't because it doesn't exist, but because every civilization that gets advanced enough eventually chooses the beautiful lie over the difficult truth. The question that should terrify you is this: if someone offered you the ability to edit your worst memories and replace them with perfect ones, would you really say no? And if you wouldn't, then how are you any different from the civilization that destroyed itself, chasing the perfect memory? Are we heading toward our own drowning halo, where future archaeologists will find our remains fused with the devices we used to escape reality?